This is the You, Me, and BTC podcast.
Cryptocurrency decrypted.
Welcome to day 3 of the 12 days of YMB Christmas. Today we're rejoined by the first guest we ever had on the show, Mr. Stephen Macaskill, the CEO of Amagi Metals. He'll share how things have been over the past year and tell us about some future plans. His company will be taking a bold step after 2017, when they will stop accepting the US dollar and only accept cryptocurrency. Stay tuned to learn about that and tons more. Your hosts are Tim Baker, John Stuart, and myself, Daniel Brown. Here we go. Hello everybody, and welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us for one of our special 1 year, 12 days of Christmas celebration specials, I guess. We're glad to have you. Thanks for listening. I am Daniel Brown, and I'm here with
Tim Baker. Hi, everybody.
John Stuart.
All right, and we also have a really special guest. He was actually the first guest that we ever had here on the show. Back all the way in episode 11, Mr. Stephen Macaskill from Amagi Metals. Thanks for joining us today.
Hey guys, thank you so much for having me.
So we are super excited about that and glad to have you back. What I want to ask about first is just this last year. Everything that you might have experienced, with Amagi and with Bitcoin. A year's a long time, especially when Bitcoin's as young as it is. So can you share just how everything has been? Maybe some of your favorite things, anything, big changes you've seen? Just tell us about the last year with your business and with Bitcoin. How's everything been going?
Yeah, well, everything's been terrific. Not just this last year, but the last 4 years, we've grown our business by a factor of 10 almost every year.
Wow.
And this year we've hired several new employees. And a couple can be directly attributed to our Bitcoin sales. So still a huge fan of cryptocurrency, and we've moved more into that space, and we're looking to move more and more into that space. We now have a Bitcoin ATM machine. It's not owned by us. It's owned by another company, but it's one of the second in Denver, and it's located in our office. And yeah, we've been doing really well and offering a lot of new services. We're going to start offering international storage to our customers pretty soon.
Nice.
And we've contemplated some Bitcoin-related services, such as possibly opening an exchange and a few other services, but we're still trying to figure out exactly what we want to do in the cryptocurrency space. I'm not really interested in getting more licensing and regulations, just because I'm more of a free market fan and less of a government regulation person. So, and of course, I don't want to do anything wrong. So right now we're just sitting on the sidelines, and we're waiting on a lot of guidance from the various financial regulators in the United States to see what's in store for Bitcoin in the next few years.
You mentioned you're going to be offering international storage. Can you explain that a little bit more?
Yeah, we're currently looking at Hong Kong, Singapore, London, and Zurich. And we're working with a business that basically has these massive vaults around the world, and they have security, and they store a lot of precious metals. And we're working with that company so that we can offer storage to our customers through them. And they're pretty large, so they don't really work with individuals. They work more with businesses. And what it will allow our customers to do, especially customers who like to diversify their precious metals around the world, they're able to store their gold or their silver in Singapore or in London without having to worry about it being stored here in the United States or confiscated or anything like that. So it's a pretty big advantage to people who want to store their precious metals outside the country. And it will be allocated. It's not unallocated. So the ounce of gold or the 10-ounce gold bar, 100-ounce gold bar that you own is specifically in that storage facility with your name on it, that's audited by a third party, and you'll be able to access it or receive delivery of the physical product at any time of your choosing.
Yeah, that's very cool, and I don't know. It seems like that would definitely interest a lot of people, especially people who are into like buying gold and silver and stuff like Bitcoin. You made a lot of noise recently about, or Amagi got a lot of attention in the news because you said that you guys had plans to stop accepting the United States dollar bill in 2017. Can you tell us a little bit more about that and like why exactly you're doing it and how well you think you'll be able to sustain it?
Yeah, well, we are extremely bullish on cryptocurrencies. I don't think that the dollar is going anywhere anytime soon. I think it's still going to be around for a while. However, I think that a lot is going to happen in the next 2 years. I think if you look at major technologies, major innovative technologies that have changed the world, each one that has been adopted over the last 150 years was adopted a lot quicker than the one before. And if you look at the internet has been adopted the fastest, less than 20 years. And now we're approaching the 6th year of Bitcoin, and like I said, I think that it's going to be adopted a lot faster. And once companies like Amazon start accepting it, I see a more of a domino effect where pretty much we'll be able to spend Bitcoin at any place, at utility companies. The only exception may be for taxes. You know, the IRS may not accept Bitcoin for taxes, but who knows? You know, that might change in the next 2 years. But like I said, I think there's going to be a huge shift, and I think it's going to happen very fast. And it's going to be almost like a domino effect. I could be wrong, but I highly doubt it. I think that I'd rather position myself correctly and lose a little bit of business in 2 years from now than not position our company in the event that we end up holding a bunch of paper that's worth nothing.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people see it as, a lot of the news articles I read treated it the exact opposite, that you were throwing all your stuff away on planning on Bitcoin staying afloat, but I think I probably agree with you more.
Yeah, I mean, all of our employees are sold on Bitcoin. I mean, we don't really have to explain anything to them. I mean, even the employees that we just hired a new employee this last week, and she's all about the Bitcoin space. So we're definitely hiring the right people. I think they're interested to get paid in Bitcoin by 2017. I mean, there are companies now that all their employees just get paid in Bitcoin. Blockchain.info is a perfect example.
Yeah. So while we're talking about the future, I guess gold and silver prices right now are a little bit lower than they started out this year. What do you think about that? Where do you think it's going? Is it something you're worried about or not really worried about?
Well, today the gold price shot up $28. So yeah, there's a big pop. It's holding over $1,200. I'm not too concerned. I do expect gold and silver to drop further. Gold can drop to as low as $730. So I think that a big part of it is when you look at the stock market, you see that it's at an all-time high. And that's great news, except for the fact that the economy isn't doing that well. So if the economy was doing well and the stock market was at an all-time high, then I would be very optimistic about the overall economy. However, because the economy is not doing well, and I see the stock market at an all-time high, I see that people are very optimistic about the stock market. They're taking all their money out of commodities and they're putting it in paper, and I think that this is very dangerous. I think that the high stock prices are a reflection of inflation and nominal growth, not actual real growth and real value. So I think that we're going to see a lot of pain, not just in the United States, but around the world when these paper markets start to pop. And when that happens, I think just like Bitcoin's going to go to the moon, gold will too. And as I always say, I don't think the value of gold and silver really changes. What we're seeing is the dollar changing in value. And as politicians continue to print more and more of that paper stuff, then the dollar will devalue more and more.
Great. Yeah, I think we'd all totally agree with everything you just said there.
Right. I would say it's with gold is kind of the same way with Bitcoin. It can move up and down pretty fast, but it's just we're in it for the long haul because, the fundamental things which take a while to kick in and really show the results and the truth because there's so much manipulation that the fundamentals can find it difficult to show through. And so I guess I want to just finish up with a question we pulled from the community. We just asked people if there was anything they wanted to ask. And I'll throw one pretty quick question at you. I don't know if I've specifically seen any Bitcoin rounds on your site. I know I've seen decentralized rounds, and I've seen and the Fed, which are kind of Bitcoin related, minded, stuff like that. I don't remember seeing any that were specifically Bitcoin. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but do you have any plans for something like that in the future? Anything you're interested in?
Well, we actually used to sell them, and this was about a year ago, however, maybe even longer, but the mint that made them actually went out of business. They were located in Dallas, Texas. And we are interested in selling them. We have been approached by a couple of companies that make them, but their premiums are so absurd. And even that decentralized round, it's more of a proof-like, and it has quite a high premium, whereas we like to focus on bullion, where silver is silver is silver. Right. And a lot of our customers are new customers in the precious metals world. So I am really interested in it. Actually, several of our employees have mentioned it. We came out with our first custom silver round, an in-house Amagi Metals silver round this year, and it's been very successful. So we may actually think about creating our own in-house cryptocurrency or Bitcoin round in the near future. And the near future would be about the next 6 months.
All right. That sounds really cool, and we look forward to seeing something like that. So that'll be fun. Well, hey, this was Mr. Stephen Macaskill, CEO of Amagi Metals. Definitely a fun chat. We're glad it's been an exciting year for you, and we hope the new year goes well. Also, thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It's been a great pleasure, and really looking forward to what the next year holds for us.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks for listening to our third special for the 12 days of YMB Christmas. We'd like to thank our sponsor again, Rollin.io, for supporting our giveaways and this entire event. Visit Rollin.io to check out the Bitcoin Dice site. Today's secret hashtag is YMB Silver. Make sure you mention @YouMe and BTC and include the hashtag YMB Silver, and you'll be entered to win some awesome prizes including Bitcoin, silver, a pound of home-roasted coffee, and a CD from John Stuart. And remember to tune in tomorrow for Tim's special on day 4.